Grand Rising, beautiful, melanated, original, whatever you respectfully call yourself, people. It's your girl Tina Berry here at Fly Nubian Queen, the network for melanated people just like you. If you want to follow your girl, follow me on Straight No Chaser with the Queen, YouTube and Instagram. Come on in. Grand Rising, Shalom, good morning. Hope you had a blessed weekend. We're here, so we're blessed. If you want to get some special offers and update, text the word Queens to 31996. Text the word Queens to 31996. ShopFNQ.com. ShopFNQ.com if you want to get some apparel. So come on in here. This is a story that happened about a year or two ago, about 2 years ago. So, Montgomery, Alabama. Hey, beautiful melanated people. How are y'all doing this morning? I know that this is a bad story. Grand Rising, B1, Shalom. Thank you. Thank you. I got it from that Fabulously Flawed Pieces. When I did that story, you got to look at the other video, the black people who own their own little business. Hey, now, we have to talk about something that's not good this morning. Something that's not good. So, in the midst of everything that's happening, when we bring you stories, we're bringing you the stories that the mainstream does. It's mainstream stories, but they don't let you know everything that's happening. I want black people all over to know that your situation is happening all over the world. They just have us separated in different areas. And we think that it's only happening to us. One day we're going to have to know that we are at war. White supremacy is at war with us. If you add it all together, put the pieces together. You hear what Trump say, the Proud Boys. Every time you turn around, we're bringing you a story that these white supremacists who dress up in police clothing. So let's get that straight. Since everybody wants to fuss about the police is bad, the police is good, and I know we know some good police. I have a young man that I know since a young man, we worked together. He basically raised. He stayed around my house with my kids, and he's a police officer, and I know him. So I can't say with him, if I judge police officers off of him, I would say all police officers are not bad. And I know our people are misled. Let's put the pieces together. We got misled people in different positions that's not doing anything. So we're not all fighting together against this beast. You got the police. You got the judges. You got people like Daniel Cameron. You know, when we don't trust each other no more because we've had each other in positions and put in positions that the white man has always held. And we think that when you get in that position, you're going to finally justify us. Do what's right. Not play the white supremacist game of law. So we got people, we got to understand we're getting fought in each position. These police officers are just the ground troops. You know, in war, you got different levels of the military. The rich ones are like the special intelligence. That's the rich. You have to understand this is as a war. See, they have us running around not prepared for war. They know we're at war, but the weapons they give us is lies, stereotypes, and to get money, they give us the worst positions in the world to have so that we won't come up. And so our come up is so much of a struggle. We always look at it as a praise. The first black this, the first black that. But these ground troops are attacking us every day, making sure we stay stressed. Making sure we stay oppressed so that we can be in their system. Because this is not a way of life. This is not natural. In Montgomery, Alabama, people, the family of a black man mauled to death by a police dog in 2008 has successfully subpoenaed the body cam footage of the incident, according to the new filings in an ongoing lawsuit. The Montgomery Police Department had previously refused to confirm that footage of the incident. Why is it so hard for them to do right? Do you know we at war? Because look at their actions. Look at the attitude. When it comes down to them, they jump and they keep each other safe. They got the money, they got the position, so they keep the money pouring into them. Those that look like them, people. People like this that are terrorizing us. These ain't these people in this story, but this is a police officer that erased a tape of a black man being killed. This is a 24-year-old thug that harassed another black family that got arrested. Now we got the police. This tape these family been fighting 2 years to get them to release the tape. They stay in power so they can back each other up with these bogus BS scriptures they call law. They back each other up in these positions. And they think this is right. Somebody, Petaway, the mom said his flesh was all over the ground that morning. His name is Petaway. Joseph Lee Petaway, 51, was at a house owned by his own 87-year-old mother in Montgomery, Alabama on July 8th, right after their so-called 4th of July. He had been caring for her, helping her fix up her home, meaning he had been around, meaning that he had been around. She owns this home, so that means he's probably been around all his life. That means that means every neighbor done seen him a few times. And next thing you know, someone called 911 overnight on that Sunday night and reported that a vacant home was being burglarized, although it was really Petaway entering his own mother's home. Police K9 handler Nicholas Barbara and his dog Nico. Now you know they treat them dogs better than us. Even the dogs get justice. So next thing you know, you had a Karen with the telephone. Probably been watching them the whole time, because you know the problem is, look at the problem. Why is they always the Karen with the telephone? Because they have always put in the society they wanted us out. They've been mad ever since desegregation. They've been mad ever since they had to free us. That's why they killed Lincoln. We got to put all the pieces of history together to understand this puzzle before it's too late for all of us. They let this man get mauled by the dog. When the K9 came in, they mauled him. He was mauled in between his legs, of course. And they sat there for 2 minutes and watched him be mauled. After they mauled him, they drug him out. They didn't render any aid. They didn't help him in any way. And then they drug him out and waited for paramedics. He bled out and died. That's the basis of this story. He bled out and died. At his own mother's house, who he was fixing up her house. He's been over there. But you got this. Yes, I'm in my petty bag. Y'all know the petty bag. We got to keep dealing with the Karen with the telephones. And then when you complain, you got people with like Billy with the magma hats sitting in office on the police force talking about all lives matter when all lives ain't going through the hindrance, the messed up, the ways that white supremacy has put. All lives ain't going through that. All lives are not being harassed by people who look like these. Because every story, yes, we know they want to say black on black crime. In any race, there's going to be interracial crime. The difference is when one race jumps out of their race and jumps into and starts rendering crime on another race, which makes it a whole lot different. And we're not talking about black on black crime, white on white crime, this and that. We're talking about the one race crime on a whole nother race crime. People who look like me keep getting attacked by people who look like this, wearing uniforms and stuff, not getting justice by people who look like these because they sit on the benches. But again, let me say, like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Text the word Queens to 31996. Text the word Queens to 31996. Like, share, pass this on. This is our black media. Because these are not stories that they feel like it's not important. It's more important for you to see who is twerking in the best video. It's more important for them to make money off of the aspects of life that they want. Because our lives are not important to them. They don't see that it's an epidemic of white police officers killing black people. This is what you consider an epidemic. We're supposed to be sorry for every race and everything that goes on with every race. And we're supposed to remember everything about every race, everything in America but us. See, the thing is, they want you to forget slavery. They don't. Well, let me tell you about slavery. Slavery was not us. We weren't slaves. We are prisoners of war. We were prisoners of war, and we're descendants of prisoners of war. Those of us that they don't want to give reparations to, those of us that they got us being confused that we don't want to be black, we want to be everything but us. Those of us that was left in America, people, after the prisoners of war got here and they put them into slavery. Slavery was the adjective. Slavery is what they put them through. Slavery is nothing you can describe on this earth. Slavery is what they put our ancestors through. We are the descendants of the prisoners of war. Slavery just got easier for them. They scared the hell out of us with the torture devices, the things they did to us. They still do it. His flesh was all on the ground, Petaway's sister said. Despite Mr. Petaway obviously and profusely bleeding and his apparent going into shock, no police officer examines, evaluates wound care. No police administers the most basic, essential, obvious, and immediately required care to stem or reduce his bleeding, the lawsuit document said. You can hear the police officer saying, fuck yeah, when they asked, another officer asked if Petaway got a bite. They were like, yeah, fuck yeah. You know, they sit around. They said the officers... that Petaway was eventually removed from the home by the officers who laid him on the ground, on the pavement, and waited for EMS. So they still didn't administer. They would sit around him laughing, letting the dog maul him in his groin. The officers stood allegedly by joking and taking pictures of Petaway as he bled out. There had been no indication that he was armed or attempting to flee. Petaway's mother said Petaway's mother also said about how his blood was everywhere as she spoke about her son's brutal death. They stood up in there and let the dog kill him, she said. They need to pay for what they did. If someone had killed the dog, we would have paid for it. If somebody had killed the dog, we would have had to pay for it. See, this is still Alabama. See, the South is this is where the homegrown racism is at, in the South. That's where they keep it live, and they keep this the law enforcement in the upper cities. They keep us down here in the slaves. Through slavery, still as prisoners of war. Sorry, somebody was interrupting. They keep us as prisoners of war. I don't know if y'all can hear me. I hope they ain't interrupting. They keep us as prisoners of war and continue to put us through slavery. We're not slaves. Slavery is what they're putting us through. This is what they put our ancestors through. We are the children, the grandchildren, the great-grandchildren. We are the great-great-grandchildren of the prisoners of war who they put through slavery. Slavery was what the white people created. And they continue to change up their ways of slavery. It's white supremacy. And longer they got it where we are attacking and fighting each other so that we don't have time to do like we used to do and gather these stories together and put all the pieces together and say, aha, it is the police force all over as a whole who's attacking us all over. And this is not just here in America. It's in the UK. This America is just a more decent slave quarters. Prisoners of war, prison. We produce all the money that pushes out all to England and all the other places. Why? They steal from Africa and get all of the resources from Africa and then push it out. Then we got leaders people who do not want to go through the white supremacy, who know because they look so powerful. We only hope on everything else. They look so powerful, so we won't fight against them. So we allow them to keep attacking our brothers and sisters and robbing our motherland because they got guns now. Ever since they got their hands on pen and paper and guns, life has been a prison for us all over the world. When we used to travel all over the world, we are millions of years old on this planet. But you don't even know that. We don't know that because they control the science, they control the knowledge, they control the information. And how come? Because it's racism. Racism, it means that one race controls the views, the resources, and everything of another race. Are they not controlling our race? Are they not controlling? When you go look, who writes the books? Who says the okay? They stood there and let the dog kill him. All because it was a false burger. He was at his mom's house. You had a camera with the telephone. Why is that not a law against this federally? If they wanted something done, but yet they keep praising these presidents out in front of us, making it seem like they out here to do something. Do something now. Do something now. They could push a law across just like that. They in the Senate House just like that because they're a bunch of, all the senators are white. Besides one black man, and y'all think this is diversity? They have infiltrated the government. White supremacy has infiltrated the government, and they let the police, which is a sub-government, attack us like the slave owners used to be when they held us, and the government didn't care. Then they hide the tapes. This one destroyed a tape of a black man being tasered to death. These police officers in Montgomery, Alabama, sat there and let the dog kill them and laughed. They sat over his body and laughed. Said that the family is now fighting confidential designation of footage. It wants to be released to the public. But the city was fighting to keep the video under wraps. Said it would create annoyance, embarrassment for officers involved. They cared more about their reputation. They care more about their power and reputation than they do about our lives. And now when you hold us hostage or as prisoners of war, you affect the rest of America. That you can continue to do something like this and get away with it. In another news, a black family woke up to their fence being caught on fire in Turlock, California. They're investigating a possible hate crime. It's not a possible. Why is it always a possibility of hate crime? Because they make what they do okay. They have wrote it in the books. They have wrote it in the Bible. They wrote it all over our lives that it is okay what they do to us and how they handle what they do to us. It is not right for the people who don't look like us to handle our justice. It's just not right. But again, shout out to Fly Nubian Queen, the network for melanated people like you. Text the word Queens to 31996. Text the word Queens to 31996. Like, share, subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Hit the thumbs up. Follow your girl Tina Berry, Straight No Chaser with the Queen on YouTube and Instagram. If you want to follow me on Twitter, it's Straight with the Queen. But yeah, they sat here and let the dog maul him. It was a false call with a Karen with a telephone as usual. He at his mom's house. They come in. How does ours always tend to turn deadly, but they walk away free after they kill people? The people who don't look like us. But we got to even watch our words. How can the C word that they don't want us to say against them, but they make money off the N word in all their videos and songs? They own all of this. But we can't say anything. How does it hold weight? When did we hold people hostage and beat them and whip them and take their names from them and gave them our names and did all that blood, guts, raped their children, took the land, took the resources, equate to the N word, and then replace it with this? We didn't replace the cracker word with them. They replaced our whole existence. And somehow we're walking around with this I'm equal stuff. And they gave you these religions to pacify you all over so that you won't see together that we are all together going through all of this together. And they don't want us. They done took the fight out of us. They make us scared. They look at, oh, we got the military. We got to stop being part of the gun that is being pointed at us. And if we want to boycott and really boycott and walk away, you have to walk away from all of those things. The police officers need to stand back if you're black and tell them make some changes. That's why I said, what am I voting for? The lesser the evil. When they either one of them get in presidency seats, they're not going to care because they're not doing nothing now. They're speaking around everything that has been going on since America has been America. They're not letting us put the pieces together. Abraham Lincoln was murdered because he was emancipating us because of the economy. The economy was not going to do well. You cannot count a bunch of people and keep them poor, and you just keep using them for your prisons and using them for slavery and using them for your slavery. We are prisoners of war who are the descendants of prisoners of war. It ain't about no. Of course, these other people that's coming in here out of other countries, they had been prisoners of war too, but they need to sue their governments and stuff. We need to understand as a whole, we're going through it because of the way we look. And we need to stop thinking that if we join their institutions, our lives are going to get individually better. They set the goal for themselves and they set traps for us and they keep allowing inhumane things to happen. How much blood do we have to shed for somebody to say white people are killing black people still? They're putting on uniforms that is meant for the law, that if the law is a paper, that the law is being controlled by white supremacists. Let's just tell the truth. And what y'all Christians saying, shame the devils that be. Because the devils, y'all going to keep looking for a spiritual fight. And until the new generation or this generation becomes the new generation, you're going to understand that this war that you keep looking for in the Bible, that you keep looking for in all these religions, has already been going on once they came with their guns against the people who look like me and you. The war is already going on. It's something wrong when we're killing each other and praising them and bending down to their guys, and we don't see that our mind is messed up. The spiritual war is already here. It's time to start fighting back, meaning get away from the things that they have gave us to pacify our hurt, our knowledge, our common sense. They keep us so busy. Put the pieces together. Over in the UK, a police officer hasn't got arrested yet. They get it worse. China, they over in Africa doing it. If our leaders in Africa would get their minds together, they want us in fear because they got all the guns and the nuclear weapons. What they're saying is that once we wake up, if they cannot continue to keep the life that they will have, they will blow up everybody and everything because they don't care about something that wasn't God given to them. Y'all have to understand that. These people, this wasn't God given to them, so they don't care. If you don't work for something, you really don't know what it is to mean to keep it. They ain't worked for nothing in this world, so they don't care. They don't go through this, so they don't care. They ain't felt Dog Maul. They ain't felt the hurt we felt. They don't understand. White men don't understand how it would feel if black men controlled it and they allowed their dogs to maul them in their balls and they allowed to always shoot because they fear for their lives. They don't understand the pain that we go through, and they don't give a damn. These they allow, because the people who with this Proud Boy mentality is all white supremacists. They just got a whole bunch of different names. They go out and they all separate. They all got the same mentality to keep slavery alive. That was the whole point of the Confederate War. And if we're going to keep arguing what this Confederate War is about, we're going to continue to be lost. Use the common sense and put all the pieces together, people. These people we got so many stories. Why do they leave the stories out about the black kings and queens in Africa that fought for us, that fought back, and how they overtook them? Because they don't want you to understand what's going on today. They don't want you to lay it down. It don't take even fighting them. It just take walking away from all of their jobs, their militaries, their police officers and stuff, and standing together. They begging us right now. We don't understand. We are the majority vote together. As a vote together, they only open up your eyes a little bit when they need to guide you to what they need. They want you to vote so that you can keep them in power, not run for your damn selves. They don't want to teach us how to make our own separate party. They don't want to teach us what we need to say to get the reparations. They play this word game. Ever since the white supremacists got a pen and a paper in their hand, we have been mind fucked. They don't want us to know nothing. They only want us. For them. So keep that in mind every day. You go to work, you might got a good job, but how come the darn corporation ain't owned by a black person? How come we buying all the liquor that was created by black people, but the white families are living large and eating fat and living lovely off of it? How come we invented the internet and they're living large, living fat and laying they not working behind in the air, and our Nigerian people where it came from are still struggling? How come? That's why and most people who work don't understand why they lock Nigeria down with stuff, because the internet was birthed in Nigeria. But yet the white man continues to enjoy it. How come we built ships and planes and cars, but the white man is the only ones enjoying it? How come we built everything in this world and the white man, how come those are our temples in Africa? Those are our pyramids, our people, our faces. How come the white man gets to lock it behind glass and the only one gets to enjoy it and benefit from it? Because we at war. How come we get guns, we only kill each other? How come they the only ones get to write the laws and get to say what's right and what's wrong? When they are the one, how come they get to pick when they gonna apologize to us for the slavery they put and rectify and reparation us? Why when do we get that chance? How come it's always them in power if America is diverse? How come they get to pick how long? Because if you looked at the government before they infiltrated the government was not set up to do what the Democrats and the Senates are doing as they doing today. But long as they keep getting the power to control the history books and the textbooks and wearing you out working their jobs to keep their fat asses rich and keep wearing your mind out, reading all types of lies and looking at all types of garbage and listening to all types of garbage, we'll never get a break. Some of us do. I'm still learning. We have to learn every day. But long as they keep us in a habit that we can't break, we won't know. How come they the only families get to enjoy? When I go to the beach, how come they flooded the beach, but yet the lands was given to us? We know that we are, the black people, science says we from the equator. How come we don't get to enjoy it? How come my black people inside Africa are dying? Because before there wasn't borders, and now all of a sudden white man came in our lands and made invisible borders and teach us how to make invisible borders. Now we sit there and watch our people die because they're not part of this side of the land. How come poverty is okay, but it's not? It's okay for the rich to continue to get rich, to get more money than they 3 generations will ever spend. It needs to be a cutoff. How come? Ask yourselves that. Again, I gotta go to work and stuff. I got some running to do. I just wanted to bring that to you, drop them jewels, and I need you to think. I need you to look at everything, every story, everything that happened to black people. Start thinking, put it all together. From how they took reading, how they didn't want us to talk. How come we don't see our language? How come we was hated? Anything dark was hated. How come they affiliated darkness with badness and everything white? How come only all the gods in the religions are white? How, look at the whole picture. How come the history books a lie? How come they will not give us reparations, but yet they'll give Jews and everybody else? Think about it. How come we're always used for the negative part of America and they get to enjoy the land and they get to enjoy everything else? How come the rich get to sit on their butt and collect millions and the workers only got to keep praying to the gods they created for something to get better? There it is right there. But y'all be blessed. Again, shout out to Fly Nubian Queen, the network for melanated people like you. It's your girl Tina Berry, straight no chaser with the queen. Like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. If you want some apparel, go to shopfnq.com. If you want to know how to do a business, just take the class. See something about the business. Go to Fly Nubian Business. We spend our money on so much stuff. It's time to start looking. I be ordering black classes. Sometimes I don't even go to because I know the money going to somebody black. And eventually when they get it together, they can have the big universities that they send our kids to go play their sports, but don't give them the intellectual property from it. They don't teach our kids to use their mind. They teach our kids to use the bodies. We need to go to learn something. Shop around. Take some black classes. Support black people. Support black networks all over. Stop arguing with each other. I might not like certain channels. Sometimes I click on it. Just support it. Okay? Go to flynubianbusiness.com. If you want to follow your girl, Straight No Chaser with the Queen, Instagram, YouTube. If you want to follow me on Twitter, Straight with the Queen. Y'all have a blessed day and keep thinking. Question everything. Get up asking questions. Get up, stand out your house and look around and ask who owned all of this and how come if we are the greatest people and we built everything, how come we not benefited? How come we got to pay to go see our ancestors they dug up out the ground? They wouldn't have to tell us our story had they not killed our ancestors. Our grandparents would have told us our own stories. Peace.